While I was at Manhattan School of Music, I had a piano trio, and we did well. We won a competition. We played Carnegie Recital Hall, what is now the Weill Recital Hall. Then Carnegie Recital Hall was a debut, and there were 3 competitions at that point in time, and the prize was the debut. New York Times gave us a favorable review. We decided that we would make it. We would pursue this as a trio. We called ourselves the Claremont Trio, named after the street where we lived, right there by Manhattan School of Music, and we set off into the future. Of the 3 of us, we divided the work, and of the 3 of us, I was most comfortable, of the 3, I was the most comfortable moving out into the market, writing letters, ringing phones, asking people if they wouldn't want to have us come and play, and beginning to understand what the dollars were, how this was going to work, whether we were going to make any money at it or not. And in that process, as I got better, I realized that I actually had a certain ability to do this, a certain ability to engage with people. And I enjoyed it. So after 7 years, when we realized that we were not going to be the Beaux-Arts Trio, we split up. At which point, I started another ensemble. I wasn't done with chamber music. I started another ensemble. And then I started a festival. The 5 players of that ensemble were the core players of this festival. It was 2 weeks long. We had to sell tickets. We had to rent a hall. We had to develop an audience. We had to make ourselves known in this community. And it was the community where I grew up. It was my little town. And I went back to that community, and I realized that it was going to cost us more to do this festival than we were able to bring in ticket sales. And a friend of mine said to me, you know, you should really do it, even though this is financially, it's not going to work the way you thought it was going to work, but this is how things that are for public benefit, this is how things come together. And he said, what you're going to need to do is raise the money beyond the ticket sales in order to cover the costs. And I said, well, how are we going to do that? And he said, it's actually quite simple. We're going to get a bunch of guys in a room, and you're going to spin the dream, and I'm going to explain their responsibilities. And we'll make it happen. And he was right. We did bring a group of people together. I explained what I wanted to do. They were quite receptive. He explained how this was going to happen financially and what they would need to do in order to bring it to fruition. And they made their move, and we played the festival. We did that for 5 years in a row. It was tremendously satisfying musically, but by the end of the festival, I was a fundraiser as well as a pianist. And I've been filling the gap between tickets and total cost ever since. So that was my point of transition. It felt liberating because all of a sudden I realized that a dream, I could create a dream, I could build a concept in my own imagination, and then I could carry it forward. And I knew that at a certain point I would run out of money, but there was still more to be found if I could explain, if I could tell the story, if I could spin the dream and make people join me as partners. And that's been my life ever since.